Hey guys, hope you're all surviving lockdown. I know I'm getting pretty sick of it and pretty keen to get back to church and see you guys for real. Now, I'm going to try keep it short and interesting tonight. I'm going to jump straight into it because I've been watching Elise on online school, and man, if I was at school, I think I would be failing pretty hard right now. And it doesn't help that Elise has this pesky older brother that keeps shooting her with the Nerf guns right as the teacher starts talking to her. Now, I want to ask you guys one question tonight. What would you give up everything for? Would you give up everything to play for the Swannies? Would you give up anything for the new Xbox or Fortnite game? Would you give up everything for your best mate? Tonight, I'll be reading from Mark 12:41 to 44. It reads, Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in 2 very small copper coins, worth only a few cents. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. They all gave out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in everything, all she had to live on." The thing that really amazes me about this passage is the widow gave absolutely everything she had. There was no government money back then. There was no 750 to live on like there is right now. That was it. Zilch. She had nothing else. That's how serious she was about following and serving the Lord. Now, I don't want to confuse you guys. It's not saying that if you are rich, then you can't take the Lord seriously. But this passage is warning against only giving to Jesus just because you can, or just because you got a little bit left over. The rich people in this passage, they were not given with the right heart. They didn't give large amounts of money because they loved God and were fully committed. In fact, it was almost more of a way to show off. In 1924, there was a young man, you might have heard of him, by the name of Eric Liddell. He was a sprinter and he was about to compete in the Paris Olympics. But when he heard that the races would all be run on a Sunday, he decided to pull out of the race because that was the Lord's day. He was one of the favourites, and he was giving up the chance at almost a certain Olympic gold, just so he could honour the Lord. Well, in this story, Eric, he was pretty rich with talent, and he had a real opportunity at Olympic gold. Instead of giving God just a little bit, he gave God absolutely everything. He'd been training for this for years, and now he'd given it away to honour God. I think we can relate this to all of us because we are all like the rich people. We only give God a little bit. And I'm not talking about money right now, but I mean in ourselves. We only give to Jesus a few parts of our lives, not all of us. We might give a lot in one area. For example, we might read the Bible every day for an hour, and then on the weekends we go out and get drunk. We need to be like the widow. She didn't just give a little bit, she gave everything. One thing I didn't finish about the story of Eric was that after he pulled out of his main events, he was given the opportunity to run a different race on a different day. One which he wasn't as good at, and he actually won gold in the 400 metre race, which was pretty amazing, seeing as though he was an 100 metre sprinter his whole life, and he was now competing against men who were trained for the 400 their whole lives. Eric gave up everything, and God honoured him with the opportunity and great success. The takeaway from this is we must offer Jesus all we have. We must hand over to him every part of our lives. If there are certain parts of our lives that we know that we're not letting Jesus in, then that really, really needs to change. I've spoken before about a time in my life when I wasn't giving Jesus everything I had. And it took a whole lot more than I ever thought it would. And I'm not just talking about money. Yes, it's extremely important to tithe your 10%. But the main thing I want you guys to think about tonight is, am I giving God everything I should be? Maybe you do earn money and you need to start tithing. Maybe you're looking at things you shouldn't. I don't know what's going on in your life at the moment. But if you need a hand or you want to talk to anyone, please come and talk to the leaders. Come and message us. Now, I've got nothing to do at home at the moment, so I'm more than happy to talk to you all day long and pray for you guys and do whatever you guys need. So I think, let's pray. Dear Lord, I just really thank you that we can still talk to each other every week, even though it's only on Zoom. Lord, I just thank you that you've got this whole corona situation right in your hands, Lord, and that we need to fear absolutely nothing. Lord, I just thank you that you love us so much. And Lord, I really just pray over the kids and the other leaders this week, Lord. And yeah, I just thank you for your love. Amen. Amen. Group time.